Hello! Today we will show you how to use the Explosion Deformer in Cinema 4D 2026, including applying it to a part of an object and clustering the polygons ejected by the explosion. First, load the object that will explode. For this, open the asset browser, search for balloon, double-click on this balloon model, close the asset browser, and zoom in the default camera. Right-click on the balloon in the Object Manager and select Connect Objects plus Delete to get a single polygon object. Create an Explosion Deformer by clicking and holding on the bend icon and choose an explosion from the pop-up palette, and make the explosion a child of the balloon. Go to the Object tab of the Explosion Deformer and drag the slider of the Strength property to make the balloon explode. Let's animate the Strength property. To do this, make sure that the time slider is at frame 0, set the strength to 0, and click on the diamond to the left of the strength to create the first T-frame. Move the time slider to frame 90, set the strength to 100%, and create the second T-frame. Go to the start of the timeline and press the Play Forwards button to test the animation. To make the explosion more violent, increase the speed to 200 centimeters. To make the rotation of the scattered polygons more noticeable, increase the angle speed to 300 degrees. The end size property defines the relative size of each polygon at the end of the explosion. If the value is set to 0, the polygons will disappear at the end of the explosion. This is suitable for our case. Let's leave it untouched. The randomness property defines how much the speed and angle speed may vary. We will leave the randomness at the default value of 100%. As you can see, not only the inflated part of the balloon explodes, but also its lip and even the string. Let's make that only the inflated part of the balloon explodes. Stop the animation and go to the start of the timeline. Select the balloon in the Object Manager. Switch to the Polygons mode. Activate the Rectangle Selection tool by clicking and holding on the brush selection icon and choosing the rectangle selection from the pop-up palette. And select the part of the balloon you want to explode by clicking and dragging the left mouse button. Open the Mesh menu. Select Clone and click on Split. A new object, Balloon Point 1, has appeared in the Object Manager. It consists only of selected polygons. The rest of the balloon, namely the neck and string, remained in the original object, balloon. To apply the Explosion Deformer only to the inflated part of the balloon, drag and drop it in the Object Manager so that it ceases to be a child element of the balloon object and becomes a child of the Balloon Point 1 object. Press the Play Forwards button. The inflated part of the balloon explodes. The neck and string remain stationary. However, the entire inflated part of the balloon breaks into individual polygons, although in reality there should be larger clusters. Let's combine some polygons into larger clusters to make the explosion more realistic. Stop the animation and go to the start of the timeline. Select the Balloon Point 1 in the Object Manager. Deselect all polygons by outlining the empty space in the viewport. Open Select menu and choose Store Selection. The Polygon Selection tag has appeared to the right of the Balloon Point 1 and its other tags in the Object Manager. Go to the Commands tab of the Polygon Selection tag. Switch the Transfer property to Fields. Create a random field by clicking and holding on the linear field icon and choosing Random Field. And double-click on the Polygon Selection tag. The selected clusters are too large now. We can remap the clusters by changing the tolerance of the field. Set it to 40%. Scroll down. Seed of the random field. Noise type. And scale. Set it to 50%. Then double-click on the Polygon Selection tag. Additionally, you can manually adjust the selections. To do this, switch to the Brush Selection tool by clicking and holding on the rectangle selection icon and choosing Brush Selection from the pop-up palette. And add polygons to clusters with the left mouse button while holding down the Shift key on your keyboard. Or remove polygons from the clusters while holding the Control key. Now open the Mesh menu, select Remove, and click on Melt to merge the polygons in the selected clusters. Right-click on the empty space in the Object Manager and press the Play Forwards button. It's OK. If you need to simulate a more realistic explosion, you can use the Explosion FX Deformer. A link to the tutorial on using it is available in the description of this video. Thank you for your attention, subscribe to the channel and put your finger up.